In the first part of the video, you heard about Evelyn Glennie. In the second part of the chapter, we'll read about the king of Shehnai, Ustad Bismillah Khan. When the Mughals ruled India, before the Britishers came, there was a very famous Mughal ruler named Aurangzeb. He did not allow the musical instrument pungi to be played in his royal residence because he felt that it had a shrill, unpleasant sound, and hence he banned it. There was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians, and he wanted to play the pungi, but he knew that the sound produced by pungi was unpleasant, and so he decided to improve the sound. This barber took a pipe which was a hollow stem. It was longer and broader than the pungi. He made 7 holes on the body of the pipe, just like we have on flute. Then he blew air into the pipe and closed and opened different holes. He found that soft and melodious sounds were produced when he did like this. When the barber played this instrument in the royal court, everybody liked the sound produced by it. The royal court thought that this instrument was different from the pungi, and so it should have a different name also. Now, there is a story behind the name given to this instrument. This instrument was first played in a royal residence of a Mughal king Shah. Also, as the nai, that is the barber, had played it for the first time, so this instrument was named as Shehnai. The sound which was produced by Shehnai was considered to be a good omen, and so it was played on good occasions. The Shehnai was a part of the Naubat. Naubat is an Urdu word and it means traditional ensemble, that means a traditional group of 9 musical instruments. These 9 musical instruments were played at the royal court and Shehnai was also a part of it. The Shehnai was played at the king's court, in temples and at weddings. It was used on stage performances, and the credit for that goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan, who was a legendary Shehnai player. When Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he lived in an old estate named Dumrao in present-day Bihar state. He used to play gilli danda. Also, he used to go to nearby Bihariji temple. Although Bismillah Khan was a Muslim, he would go to the temple and he would sing this song, Chaita, in Bhojpuri language. When he would finish reciting the song, he would get a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilograms as a reward from a local Maharaj. The writer says that at 5 years of age, he would get a 1.25 kilograms laddu as a reward, and at 80, he achieved the highest civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna. So this is the distance that he travelled in his life. Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 in a family of musicians in Bihar. The lineage of his father's side was full of great Shehnai players. We can say that Bismillah Khan acquired the skill of playing the Shehnai from his ancestors. His grandfather was a great Shehnai player. He played the Shehnai in the court of the Bhojpur king. His father and all the paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Bismillah Khan also started learning music at an early age. When Bismillah Khan was just 3 years old, his mother took him to his parents' house, to his maternal uncles. They lived in Banaras. And when Bismillah Khan saw his maternal uncles play the Shehnai, he was attracted towards it and he wanted to learn playing it. Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle Ali Bakhsh to the Vishnu temple in Banaras. Ali Bakhsh was on a duty to play the Shehnai at the Vishnu temple of Banaras. When Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Ali Bakhsh play the Shehnai, he would get attracted towards it, that he would sit there for hours listening to the play of listening him play the Shehnai. Gradually, Bismillah Khan also started learning playing the Shehnai and he would practice throughout the day. He was so captivated by the Shehnai that he would never get tired. For many years, Bismillah Khan remained in Banaras he would visit the temple of Balaji, temple of Mangal Maya, and would remain on the bank of river Ganga, where he would practice playing the Shehnai all by himself. Here we come to know about the talent of Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was so inspired and motivated by the river Ganga, it provoked him to improve his performance. And he also invented many ragas that were considered impossible to be played by a Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan worked hard and invented different sounds with the Shehnai. When Bismillah Khan was 14 years of age, he accompanied his maternal uncle Ali Bakhsh to Allahabad Music Conference. Ustad Faiz Khan, a renowned classical vocalist, was impressed by his performance and said that if he would work hard like that, he would make a name in the field of music. When the All India Radio started its radio station at Lucknow, Ustad Bismillah Khan started performing from there. Often, his Shehnai performance would be on air. Ustad Bismillah Khan was the first Indian to greet the entire nation through his Shehnai. He played the Shehnai from the Red Fort on this memorable occasion. The rag that was played by Ustad Bismillah Khan on the occasion of independence of India from the Red Fort was Rag Kafi. After his performance, the first Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, gave his famous speech, Tryst with Destiny. Bismillah Khan gave many performances in India and abroad. Some of them are memorable, like the one at Afghanistan. The King of Afghanistan, King Zakir Shah, really liked Bismillah Khan's performance and gifted him many things which were made in Afghanistan, such as Persian carpets, so that Ustad Bismillah Khan would remember him his first visit abroad, that was to Afghanistan. There were many other people also who were attracted to the Shehnai's music. Gunj Uthi Shehnai was the name of a Hindi movie. It was made by Vijay Bhatt. He was a film director and he really liked the sound of the Shehnai played by Bismillah Khan, and that is why he named his movie as Gunj Uthi Shehnai. There was a song in the movie which was composed by Ustad Bismillah Khan and became a chart buster. It broke all record. Although this song was a chart buster and Bismillah Khan got a lot of success from this film, he composed music for 2 films only. The names of the movies were Gunj Uthi Shehnai by Vijay Bhatt and a Kannada movie made by Vikram Srinivas called Sanadhi Apanna. Ustad Bismillah Khan would say that he did not like the artificial world of films and the glamour that was there in the film world. That was why he did not compose music for many movies. Bismillah Khan performed all over the world. He performed in United States of America at the Lincoln Center Hall, in Montreal, Australia at the World Exposition, at the Cannes Art Film Festival, also in Japan at the Osaka Trade Fair. Bismillah Khan was so famous all over the world that in Tehran an entire auditorium has been named after him. Ustad Bismillah Khan got a lot of recognition and had been awarded with many national awards. When Ustad Bismillah Khan received India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna, in the year 2001, his eyes were shining. He was very happy because his hard work had been recognized and he gave an important message to the country. He told all the Indians to teach music to their children because music is the richest tradition of India. He said that even the Western countries wanted to learn India's music. Although Ustad Bismillah Khan had travelled all over the world and was given so much respect and recognition, he always remained rooted. Banaras, where he learned music, and Dumrao, where he was born and brought up, were the 2 most wonderful towns of the world for him. He was so down to earth that although he had travelled all over the world, still he was attached to his birthplace. There was a student of Ustad Bismillah Khan, and he wanted that Ustad Bismillah Khan should set up a Shehnai school in USA. He promised that he would recreate the temple of Banaras in America for Ustad Ji, as he knew that Ustad Ji would miss it. But Ustad Bismillah Khan was attached to River Ganga also. So he asked his students that would he transport the River Ganga also to America? Basically, he wanted to say that he could not leave India. He was attached not only to the temples of Banaras, but also to the holy river Ganga. Ustad Bismillah Khan said that whenever he visited any foreign country, he longed to see India. He wanted to return to India. And then he says, then when he was in India, in Mumbai, he yearned to visit Banaras and the Ganga river. And when he was in Banaras, he missed his birthplace Dumrao and the mutt where he sang Chaita and was rewarded with the laddu. Here the writer says that Ustad Bismillah Khan was a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. His work was beyond the religion barriers. Although he was a strict Muslim, he followed the Muslim laws, but every morning he would play the Shehnai at the Kashi Vishwanatha temple, which was a Hindu temple. This shows that he did not have the barriers of religion in his mind. He was a true Indian. He considered music to be India's richest cultural heritage. Ustad Bismillah Khan had been ill for a very long time and he died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90. The entire country mourned the death of the legendary musician. There was a holiday for one day and he was given a state funeral. Students, that was all for today. Today you learnt about two great people. One, Evelyn Glennie, who with her music wants to give the message of love, peace and happiness and wants to tell everybody that despite your shortcomings, you can still achieve what you want to with your hard work. And on the other hand, Bismillah Khan, for whom his music, his country was way beyond the lavish and the comfortable life. His country was his pride. That is all for today. Please go through the topic very well. Read the chapter thoroughly and make sure you prepare well for your exam. That was all for today. Have a good day. Good luck.